Good morning, everyone. I'm Ann Metcalf, and welcome to my Conscious Eating, Conscious Living Sunday morning chat. And I give thanks to this beautiful day of family, friends. We've got just every day we can be thankful for all that we have. That feeling of gratitude in our hearts makes such a difference for ourselves and those around us. I give thanks to beloved Tara, Mother Earth, and all the food that she provides. Everything that we get on this every day is from our beloved planet. So thank you, and just a breath of gratitude and thanks for the earth. And I hope that you are having a wonderful day wherever you are. And this morning's chat is actually as a result of me being in Costa Rica for about 2 weeks. And uh, enjoying a visit with my daughter and my granddaughter in a small community called Uvita on the west coast of Costa Rica. And on the way home at the airport, I had some extra time and I found this amazing little shop with a books and product referring to the blue zone. And I didn't realize that Costa Rica was one of those. So that's what our chat is about today. So if you're interested in that and learning about the Maya net, stay with me and let's. I'm going to share what I learned about the blue zones, and it's something I've heard about. Oh, I guess years ago. Um, and I never really sort of paid that much attention to it. Or did I study, where they lived and the people there and what did they do to live to be close to or over 100 years of age? And so I had this wonderful little visit in this little shop and I found some amazing things. There's the books by Dan Buettner and products from Costa Rica, and a few specifically from the Blue Zone area of Nicoya, Costa Rica, which is on the East Coast, I believe. And so I bought a couple of products and assured by the young woman who served me, who used the healthy blue powders she took every morning, gave her lots of energy. So I found space in my backpack to lug that all the way back to Vancouver. And I've been trying little bits of it, plus the coffee substitute, which is an interesting thing. So I'll talk about that later. And Dan Buettner wrote several books, started by researchers back in 2004. And he wrote an article in the National Geographic in 2005. So, where are these blue zones? Where are they around the planet? Well, let's see. The first one is Barbagia region of Sardinia. It's in the mountainous highlands of inner Sardinia with the world's highest concentration of male centenarians. The next one is Icaria, Greece, Aegean island with one of the world's lowest rates of middle age mortality and the lowest rate of dementia. The Nicoya Peninsula, Costa Rica, world's lowest rates of middle age mortality, second highest concentration of male centenarians. And the other group is the Seventh day Adventist. The highest concentration is in Loma Linda, California, and they live 10 years longer than their North American counterparts. The other one is Okinawa, Japan, where the females are over 70 are the longest living population in the world. So what did they discover? What was it about these groups of people? So Dan and his team assembled medical researchers, anthropologists, demographers, and epidemiologists to search for this evidence-based common denominators among all these places. And so the article was in the National Geographic was The Secrets of Long Life. And in his article, he narrowed down 9 characteristics of people living in the blue zones. And where were those what were those commonly shared factors with those 5 groups? Well, here they are. They tend to and they use their muscles in their chores and their activities of daily living, um, instead of sort of the modern conveniences that we all just aspire to, or not everybody, but many of us. Number 2 is their purpose, why they woke up in the morning. The Okinawans called it ikigi, and the Nicoyans called it plan de vida. Why I wake up in the morning. Apparently, knowing your sense of purpose can add up to 7 years of extra life expectancy. And this ikigi is what it means is a reason for being, having a reason for being in life. The third thing was routines that shed stress in their lives. The Okinawans take a few moments each day to remember their ancestors. The Seventh-day Adventists use prayer. The Icarians take a nap, and the Sardinians do a happy hour. Now, number 4 is this 80% rule of stopping eating when they are full, 80% full. This word hara hachibu is a Confucian mantra, and it means eat until you are 80% full. And I know I'd like to do a little more of that myself. And these and other folks eat the smallest meal in the late afternoon or the early evening and nothing later. And we know from gut buddy studies that gives your akkermansia time to do its work in the colon, creating a healthy mucus lining. Number 6, and part of that is in the eating is there's lots of beans, fava beans, flax, soya, lentils. One group used pork, and others actually had a minimal of animal protein. They had fish and poultry. They also had lots of fruit, whole grains, and only the Adventists abstain from alcohol. The rest of them enjoy a little drink on a regular basis with their friends and your favorite food. And number 6 was actually belonging. Dan found that almost all the groups belonged to some kind of a faith-based community. Going to services 4 times a month could add 4 to 14 years of your life expectancy. Number 7 was their families go first. Many live near or with their family and spend lots of time with their children and their grandchildren. Number 8 was the right tribe, social circles that supported healthy behaviors. In Okinawa, groups of 5 friends commit to each other for life. Isn't that beautiful? And a little more detail on some of these different groups. In Costa Rica, the research was done in 2007. Their diet was mainly corn-based, tortilla, rice, and the folks were very active. In Icaria, Greece, in 2009, with nearly 1 in 3 who live to be 90 or older, have 50% lower rates of heart disease, 20% less cancer, and dementia is almost non-existent. Gotta love that Mediterranean food, veggies, some fish, olive oil, and for some folks, the red wine. The island of Okinawa have been found to have a very high amount of people who tend to live near the age of 100. And the Okinawans eat with lots of soy, sweet potato, rice, and other veggies. And they also practice the meditative form of exercise called Tai Chi. And in Loma Linda, that's home to a large group of Seventh-day Adventists who are ranked some of North America's longest lived people. They are known to be very strict vegetarians, and they live in tight knit communities, which creates that feeling of belonging, which is really important for people. And demographers found a hotspot of health and longevity in Sardinia, where a large proportion of men tend to live over 100 years old, particularly in the mountain villages of, let's put my work on my pronunciation, Ogliastra, Barbagia, uh, Olole, and Barbagia of Sulo. So thank you for having grace for my mispronunciations. And what I brought home with me after my trip to Costa Rica through the Costa Rican airport were things. I brought home a product called Healthy Blue, and it's a powder, and it's made from Maya nut. And I go, whoa. And so I asked this woman, do you take it? Does it help you? And it's a powder, and she takes it every day, and she feels better for it. So I thought, well, I'm going to try it too. And then there was two different kinds of morning brew. And one was a blend of Costa Rican seeds and nuts, and the other had actually coffee in it with Maya nut and spices. That latter one I'm yet to try, but I'm enjoying the other one. Now, what is this Maya nut? Maya nut is it's a highly nutritious food, rich in fiber, iron, zinc, micronutrients, calcium, magnesium, potassium, folate, antioxidants, and protein. And it's been used by Native people and traditional healers to treat a wide variety of ailments, including colitis, arthritis, osteoporosis, asthma, infertility, and lactation problems. And it has a low glycemic index, making it good for diabetics or people watching their sugar and carbohydrate intake. Now, this one site I found, it was the Maya Nut Institute, and it's a nonprofit public one. And their mission is to find balance between people, food, and forests by teaching rural communities about the value of Maya nut for food, fodder, ecosystem services, and income. And it's also referred to as the Nuez Ramon and Semilla de Ramon. And it's actually the seed of the Brosimum allicastrum. And it's a rainforest tree. It's actually a drupe, not a fruit. And it was once abundant throughout Central America, but is now highly threatened, which is why this group is trying to promote its regrowth, the regeneration of this very important plant, and also to save the land. When you've got cattle production, traditionally, and certainly in the Amazon and other areas, they just plow everything under. They put these cattle on the land, and basically denudes the land. And then within a few years, the land is no longer viable. So this group is working on teaching farmers how to sort of work with the land and work with this traditional crop or this tree. And according to an article by Blue Zones, the nuts have been featured in pre-Hispanic culture since the classical Mayan period. And the ancient Mayans reportedly used the nuts and also the bark and the leaves. And it was especially valuable in times of war, drought, or famine, since the Mayan nut tree once grew in abundance. And it provided food when the crops would fail. So you've got a drought, and this tree can withstand the drought. So it's a beautiful win-win. And the trees have shrunk over the centuries because of the deforestation. And so now they're putting a lot of effort into bringing these trees back with their amazing fruit. And it grows naturally in rainforest soil. It's much higher in vital nutrients than foods grown on farm soil. And it's high in the fiber, and I'll just repeat it, the folate, iron, zinc, protein. And the other thing too is it can be used in a wide variety of sweet and savory dishes. It can be used as fresh or dried, roasted or raw, in over 120 recipes, which have been developed by the staff of this site. And the link is in my Facebook page. And it's one of the largest trees in the forest, going over 50 meters or 150 feet tall in some places. And so the leaves are fed to livestock, and which is the fodder, and the sap or the latex have medicinal properties for asthma in Central America, for anemia in Mexico, and for rheumatism in Peru. And the wood is used for construction or firewood. And so it's a very useful tree in the forest. And it's because it's adaptability and drought resistant, the tree can produce 800 pounds of food per year and will remain in production for more than 100 years. That's amazing. And there's a video that I included where the trees the woman was talking about were planted almost 100 years ago. And so they live a long time. So the farmers plant the trees to use for fodder for 5 to 10 years. And then, as they're growing taller and taller, harder to reach the branches for the cattle, then they use them for seed. And when they're larger, more established. And the whole fodder thing just encourages farmers to grow these trees to feed their cattle, and rather than sort of deforesting large areas of land. And so, you know what? Um, let's look at this nut. I looked online. I couldn't find this beautiful Maya blue powder. So I've got a very precious jar at home, and I will savor that. And for you coffee lovers, are you willing to try something a little different? And some people say the caffeine's good, some say it's not so good. And you be the judge, try it out. And Amazon does sell the Cafe Capomo, which is another name for the Maya nut coffee. And Blue Zone's website also has it for sale. They do not have the powder, but they have the coffee substitute. So I encourage you to check this out and check out the Blue Zone folks who are living long, healthy lives, and try for yourself. And if you can live an extra 4 to 14, 10 with the Loma Linda group, they're vegetarians, plant-based, and there's more research on that coming out each day. So check it out and check, do your intuitive testing with your body and use a pendulum if you need to, and see what suits your body, because we're all different. And so to end my call, thank you for listening. And I encourage you, if you've used the Maya Nut coffee substitute, post that on my Facebook page. I'd love to hear about it. And we're talking about Blue Zone. So I'm going to pick my Manifest Your Magnificence cards. And we've got, I am learning and growing. And I encourage all of us. I do it all the time. Our brains are just amazing capacitors for knowledge. Let's keep it healthy. And so I am constantly growing. And another blue card, I am peaceful. So the more peaceful you are, the peaceful within yourself, that emanates around the world, peace around the world. Because as we as individuals, feel that peace within ourselves, the gratitude, the love, compassion that is emanating through every cell in our body and around us. And when we walk on the earth, being peaceful within ourselves, that peace radiates into the planet herself. What a beautiful gift to give yourself, the earth, and humanity. And for all this fractal, multidimensional energy, who knows what we are capable of. So let's find a blue card in our magnificent cards. And it says, I am peaceful. Let's take today and every day from now on to practice that peace within ourselves. And it says, when I'm still, I know all is well. So find those moments of stillness and know that all is well. You are well. We are well. And you and I need to take responsibility for our own health. No one else but ourselves. Respect your body. Put what's in it that is healthy, whole food, and make those smart choices. Be that conscious eater and conscious living human being, because that will make a difference on our world and our planet. So, namaste to all of you. Continue to look at those blue zone attributes. Can you get more exercise? Walking with vigor. Anyway, loving hugs to all of you. Namaste. And thank you for joining me. And just a reminder, if you have any questions, you can always contact me at rosiesjoy11@gmail.com and my app, Authentic Sacred Design. And there's a gift giveaway starting next week. And so come on board, find out what those gifts from all our app owners will be about. Thank you. Until next time.